Toronto labeled severely unaffordable? What? Coming up in today's video, we're talking about a new report that just came out labeling Toronto, yes, severely unaffordable. No surprise here. Let's dive into it. Coming up next. Alright, Michael J. Zach here, and welcome to the channel. As always, if you're new to the channel, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell for more great market news on the Toronto real estate market. Now today, as I said, we're talking about Toronto and where we ranked in the Frontier Center of Public Policy dropped their 15th annual Housing Affordability Survey, which essentially surveys 309 metros across 8 different countries that have 2 million residents in them at least, and ranks their cost of living. Now, for those who have been following this, we've obviously been trending in a downward spiral as we were at one point ranked 28, dropped down to 21. Now this year we came in tied for 10th with London. Now, obviously you don't want to be trending low on this chart. We're actually now beating out, New York, Miami, Seattle, pretty much every U.S. city besides LA and San Francisco. Now, the report essentially ranks the middle income housing affordability based on the median multiplier of each city. Now, they use this metric to obviously compare each city with one another. When you look at the scale, it starts at affordable being 3.0 and under, moderately unaffordable jumps up to 3.1 to 4.0, seriously unaffordable is 4.1 to 5.0, and severely unaffordable is 5.1 and over. Now, in 2004, when they started this survey, Toronto ranked at 3.9. And since then, we have jumped up to 8.3 in 2018. Now, as I said, this is severely unaffordable. For those who are very interested, it's a very detailed report on many markets. They talk about obviously every market in terms of whether it's affordable, least affordable to affordable. So for those investors that are, shopping around to see what's out there, if you're in Toronto and you feel that this market is too unattainable for you, for your portfolio, there's a lot of markets that make total sense when it comes down to evaluating the numbers. When the market crashed, I heavily jumped into Atlanta's market. So at the end of the day, use these reports as guides to kind of see what's out there. And I'll put the link in the description because it is pretty detailed, goes into a lot of specifics. And like I said, it covers both scales from affordable to least, so it might be worth interest to people that are looking to shop around, or you just like a good read. Now, you may be asking, how do you rank lower on this chart? Now, they say for bubbles not to be triggered, typical household income, or we'll say typical household detached property should not exceed more than 30% of a typical household's income. Now, when we look at Toronto, the report states that 90% of pre-tax revenue needs to go towards the buy of a house, which creates obviously this overall impression of the city that we are, in dying need of a correction, because at some point prices can only continue up so much before nobody can afford anything, and at that point it needs to correct to kind of balance out. Now, when we're talking about apartments and condos, Toronto's at 47 to 52% of income to support the prices right now. Again, this is well over the 30% that the experts say, which is in a more affordable state. Now, I guess the only good news if you're from Toronto and heavily invest in Toronto is when we look at the Canadian market. The good news is for Torontonians is at least we're not Vancouver, as they came in second only to Hong Kong, which is ranked at 20 point something, but Vancouver sits at 12.6 compared to Toronto at 8.3. So I guess that's good news, not good news for obviously Canada as a whole. But another great, which was interesting to me, was the two most affordable cities on this chart were Canadian. Cape Breton, #1, and #2, Fort McMurray. Now, I know Fort McMurray, I worked in the oil industry for many, many years. Obviously, it's up there because of the, oil not doing so well. And obviously, because of that, prices have probably, I haven't been watching in the last couple of years, but I'm assuming, since the market's come down dramatically, prices have come down. But income up there is so high, so it makes it very affordable. Still probably pretty pricey though for when you look into that market. Now, interesting enough, when we look at the major markets here that are severely unaffordable, they have one thing in common, and that is restrictions on land policies for building and adding more square footage. What this does is when we look at these major markets, these are big, big cities, there's always a demand. There's a demand for people to go there because of jobs, because of lifestyle, quality of life's a lot better, big city mentality. Now, when you restrict the land to build on, what this does is the demand's there, but the supply is low. And if supply is low, prices continue to go up. And if prices continue to go up over time, you have this, big bubble factor, which everyone fears, a correction. The problem is now, it's almost like we're too big to fail, because if the market corrects if there's too big of a correction, it could, essentially wipe out a lot of people, and the country itself could be, set back so many years that it's going to create this, a lot of people are going to lose money, lose houses, and all that. So the city is trying to solve this by, maneuvering different tactics, the fair housing market, plan and all this BS stuff. But to solve the crisis is you need to free up land in order to allow builders to come in, build more stuff so more people can get in and prices can come down. It doesn't make any sense that you keep creating jobs even if the average person getting these jobs has to still win the lottery to buy something. That doesn't, solve the issue, or by taxing the wealthy to give, it doesn't solve anything. What you need to do is release the restrictions on land policies and all that, and that's the only way around. So, like I said, I'm going to leave the link in the description if you do like reading about this stuff, and like I said, if you're looking for markets that make a lot of sense on the numbers, this will give you a whole list of different potentials to look into. So I'll leave that below. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Like, comment, share, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.